to be
Sorry, say that once more.
on camera. Can you have people be on camera, please?
Yeah, Faith, Asia,
Camera.
and Ashley, Joshua, and Tiffany. Can you guys be on
Thank
camera?
you.
Oh, wow. There's a bunch of people in here. I just saw the first page. Whoa. There's tons of people in here.
Yeah, there's 44 of us.
This is kind of, oh, shit. I thought I was just talking to the first, like, 12 of y'all. There's a whole grip of y'all in here.
Don't be nervous. Don't be
No,
nervous.
we have a lovely turnout, and I'm sure more students will join
Thank you guys
us.
so much for being here. This,
So
wow.
Tiffany and Joshua, can you be on camera, please?
Yeah, stop being shy. Let's see them smiles.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, there we
Thank you,
go.
Vicky.
All right, I'm sorry, we didn't get you recorded. So Kevin, you know what I'm gonna ask you to do? Just say your name again and just you're that first kind of couple lines that you talked about so that you're on.
Kevin Kellett, OGK, whatever. Started barbering about 15 years ago. I guess you could say I mastered. I got probably 30,000 hours of practice and experience at this point, so I could kind of do with the lights off sometimes. Started off touring, making music, cutting my friends' hair, stuff like that. Realized I was kind of talented at it and I liked it, and my friends would pay me, so it was kind of tight. And then ended up in a streetwear kind of barbershop. It was really well known kind of in the barbering industry and stuff like that, just for style of the clients, being really well-rounded, being able to do all different types of haircuts, etc. Not just fades, not just this, there's more shaves. We pride ourselves on being very versatile. So spent a long time there. I ended up having a client who's now one of my closest friends. I don't know if you guys listen to rap, but
I know
G-Eazy.
him. I know him.
Yeah,
I listen to his music a lot.
Awesome. That's awesome. We appreciate your support. He's been an amazing friend. He's taken me on tour with him around the world. We've done pop-up shops, branding of clothing. The first hair products I made by hand with him. So after that, I've worked in some men's hair salons and kind of now ended up during quarantine back doing haircuts out of the tailgate of my pickup truck. So it's kind of come full circle in a very unique way. And relax. And it feels great. I had a client in my chair last night who is a producer for Post Malone. Has all of the awards, all that type of accolades, all that stuff. And as I was saying before about experience, now people still pay me $100 for a haircut to come sit in my dusty garage and get a haircut off the back end of my 72 rusty pickup truck. It's not about where you are. It's not about any of the smoke and mirrors and anything like that. As a professional and what you do, you have to, if you're gonna be successful in this, you have to really love it. Like, I love my clients. My job, my duty, I feel like, is when they sit in my chairs to like give them a confidence in this aura that when they leave it, like my man came to me yesterday, like, bro, I'm going to see LeBron. We're making a song for Kobe. We're putting this shit together. I'm like, bro, you could make an anthem that's like that, or Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, that shit that gets played every time. Like this song right now that you're going to pitch and do all that for, he came to get a haircut and get his soul, mind, and body right for that. The fact that he came to see me, and when he left, he sent me videos like, man, I'm ready. That is such a rewarding, you know what I mean? Like that now is why I cut hair. It's great. It is amazing that I can't believe people will pay me $100 for a haircut. I'll go down to the beach and cut people for free. I don't, it's not about the money, but the fact that somebody appreciates it like that is very, rewarding.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop you there because I have lots of other questions and I want to make sure that everyone gets
we get there.
Yes. Okay, Robin, my friend Robin. Introduce yourself, please.
What's up with your nails, girl?
Yes, I love
Robin. They're not here. They're gone. All gone. I know some of you remember them being super long and pretty. Okay, so
update on me, Vicky. My daughter is now 8.5 months.
Wow, congrats.
Congrats. Aw.
Beautiful.
So that's actually the reason why I have no nails. I keep trying to grow them and then they keep cracking because I have to keep reeling her in places. So hi everybody. Let me backtrack. My name is Robin Yancey. I'm a licensed nail artist and manicurist. I also work at Santa Monica College, so I technically am on the clock right now, but we're all working from home. So I have been doing nails. Licensed, I've been doing nails 6.5 years. It'll be 7 years in March. I actually went to school for nails at Maranello Schools of Beauty, which is now no longer in business. But I got my license in 2014, and I've done everything from red carpet events to private events, like working with Urban Decay for Coachella. I've done, beauty events like New Girl Expo and the Ultimate Women's Expo. You name it, I've probably done it at least once anyway. So for me, I don't know. I just love doing nail art. I love making sure that my clients' natural nails are healthy. In fact, Sabrina and Brittany, the other two speakers, are also clients.
I was just saying your skin looks amazing. Who did that?
So my main focus is always the natural nail health and making sure that regardless of what is on top, it means absolutely nothing if the foundation underneath is crap. So I always make sure that I'm, caring first about the natural nail health for each of my clients and addressing each of their concerns individually and not treating all of my clients as one lump sum. So some of my clients have allergies, some of my clients don't. Some of my clients have shorter nail beds or narrow nail beds, or they're more sensitive to certain products. So I just try to make sure that I customize each and every service for each and every person so that, like Kevin said, every time that they leave my table, they feel like a better version of themselves than when they came in. My favorite thing is when my clients haven't seen me in a while and they come back and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to be in your chair. Oh my God,
That's so nice.
I'm so glad that I'm
That's
that
such
I'm
a good
back."
feeling. Yeah.
Like I've even had clients text me like 2-3 days a week before their appointment. "Oh my God, I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for Tuesday. I'm so excited for Tuesday." And then when they get in the chair and, a couple hours go by and I'm done with their service and they're like, "Wait, you're done already? Crap." I was having too much
Can
fun.
I just stay and hang out? Yeah.
Right. So,
Right.
So I'm at my truck. They're like, "Come on, man, let's drink some beer." I'm like, "Get out of here, fool."
I don't think you want me doing that right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Good thing I just cut your hair.
Right.
I think one of the things I hear both you and Kevin saying, Robin, is it's more than just the physical act of getting the thing done. It's more of like an experience of being with you.
Experience.
Yeah, like I
Well,
want you
and
to
at
come to
this
the beach
point,
and kick it and have, like feel good. Get some salt
exactly.
in the
At
egg,
this
you know what I
point,
mean?
a
Like,
lot of my clients end up becoming friends. And so then the nails just become a reason to meet up because everyone is doing all the things.
that's how I feel.
And a lot of my clients are entrepreneurs, so they're just as busy as I am. And they're moms. I think like 90% of my clients are moms. So we've all got a bajillion things going on at the same time. And so this is now a time for both of us now that I'm a mom, this is now time for both of us to kind of step away, be ourselves, be individuals, but then have some girl time. We all need that, guys need their guy time, girls need their girl time. And so that allows us time to really just kind of be us for even just a sliver of a window during the day, and catch up and dish and all that kind of good stuff.
That's so nice. Thank you. All right. Sabrina, would you mind going next? Just
Yes.
introducing yourself. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina. I'm known by Skin by Sabrina or Sabrina Today. Today being why tomorrow's never guaranteed. So I've actually been an esthetician for 20 years. I started actually when I was 16, licensed at 19. So I've been in the industry for a very long time. My reason, it was more therapeutic for me. So bringing that connection. Long story short, one, I was adopted, and two, I was the middle child. So you could guess right there the things that I went through during my childhood. So I wanted to find something that I could do and make money at the same time when I was young. So I loved mixing and brewing things. And when I was 16, I actually started with Mary Kay. But at the same time, I didn't like the politics of how Mary Kay was. I like to make my own rules. So I took the philosophy through Mary Kay and kind of turned it in how I want to do things through the year with new technology. One thing that I will say, just like Robin said, and Kevin, is you have to have passion. I'm sharing my everyday treatments. Now, typically the stuff that you learn in school is great. That's the foundation, but then you want to start adding your own personality, your own character. The one thing now with, I found with aesthetics, we all know it's very copy and paste. You know, you want to set yourself apart from everyone else in the industry. And that's how success comes. And that's how we build our client base and people trust us. And that's the main goal. Robin is a client of mine, a friend, and same thing with her. I've taught the process. Now, typically right now in aesthetics, everyone's talking about brands, this. I teach science, I teach process, and I teach understanding. It doesn't matter what brand you use, right? You just want to know how is it going to affect the skin, right? So for me, I literally break it down 1, 2, 3. A facial of mine, it's about a 90-minute process, but I'm learning the skin. I could tell how you sleep. I could tell if you had cheese last night. I could tell so many things because 20 years in the industry, but also learning it in different parts of the world. I studied in Japan, Europe, all over, and I just incorporate again back to how Sabrina does it. And that's one thing that I stress to everyone. You have to make it your own. We know as aesthetics, facials are on every corner, like a liquor store. So you have to set yourself aside. You have to do things different. One thing that I always recommend, 1, talk to yourself every day. 2, personal development. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to trust? How are your clients going to trust you? Right? I've worked in spas. I've had celebrity clients. I've done it all. But at the end of the day, their money is just as good as your money. I treat everyone the same. And that's one thing that people trust me.
Facts.
Exactly. It's all facts, right? I've had people be like, oh, well, I need a facial. I'm like, oh, I'm not available. And so you have to believe in your standards. And I tell people all the time, take note, there's a difference between standards and attitude. When you start believing in your standards, this is what we do. You know, and be firm, write it down. When it comes to your clients, I'm actually sharing something very special. This is my intake form. I purchased these intake forms from Sally Beauty Supply 20 years ago. Every time a client comes in here, I notate it. I take notes. Oh my gosh, you no longer have breakouts. Oh, so you're not doing this anymore. And so people appreciate that. Little things that may take a couple trees, but at the same time, I know every client.
I do that online. I have if I have certain clients that come on, or if it's a different client from a different you know, barber or something like that, and they like their hair specifically cut a certain type of way, just leaving notes of like, okay, number 2 on the top, this is it, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times
it's an art. It's an art. I feel like aesthetics, barbering, nails, we're living in California, you know, it's an art. It's an art. And if you put it as an art and passion, you're going to make the money. I tell the story when I first came to LA. I lived with my aunt, and unfortunately my son and I weren't able to stay with her anymore. So basically I found myself homeless, literally. I would pass out flyers, facials, $40, $40, $40. I still have some of those clients for $40. Actually, they got risen a little bit. But when you're giving someone that emotional connection, they're going to stay with you for a lifetime.
Forever.
Forever. And so again, be authentic, be yourself, study. Every day I'm learning something. You guys have the best. I call you guys iPhone babies because right now you guys can get all the information. It's right there. And all you have to do is download it and just deliver. And it's all about delivering. Kevin was talking about branding. Yes, we all have spoons, but maybe this spoon came from a different source, right? Maybe you wrap it up a different way. So you just want to make sure that you give it from your heart. I'm a holistic practitioner, so I believe in mind, body, and spirit. And people, we are energy, we are water. And when you move like water and you're mindful, Robin knows.
I was talking about that with
Robin,
music last night. Yeah.
It's
like
so
the vibrations
passionate,
of the music
you want to
sends
be
it
so,
just,
if they
yeah.
call you crazy, that means you're on the right path in life.
That's right.
And I tell people, they call Albert Einstein crazy. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I've been doing this a long time, and I tell people, do it from the heart, and the money's gonna come to you. I just bought a fourplex during COVID, doing what I do. So it's just like, just keep believing in yourself. I tell my students, write it on the walls, like, what are your goals? And just every day, and you treat that one client like you have thousands of clients, and you will be successful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you. Yep.
You're
All
welcome.
right, Brittany, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to all of us, please?
Okay, hi, my name is Brittany McFarlane, and I am the owner and creator of Curls and Bonnets, which is something I created very recently. But before that, just like Sabrina, I actually started doing hair when I was about 12 years old. Actually, it was my own hair. I taught myself how to do like braids, all kind of cool things. And my grandmother actually started like noticing, like, your hair looks good. And so she would ask me to do hers, come practice on me, and then so my cousins and so on. And then I got to high school. So about the age 14, I actually started, I realized that like other girls in my school would ask me like, who does your hair? And I would say me. So I actually started charging them money. It was my first job doing hair at school. And it's funny, I actually charged like $50 for like a 10-hour job because I didn't, I just wanted to do their hair, and I was like, sure. I realized the time and money and how much you're actually, so once it came time to graduate, everybody was choosing like what colleges they were going to, and I just wasn't interested in any subject. I knew I really loved doing hair, but in the back of my mind, I thought, no, like, is anybody going to respect me if I don't go off to a university? And so after taking some time to think about it, I said, you know what, I want to be happy. I want to be happy in what I do, and that's doing hair. So I decided to go to cosmetology school. And I went to Marinello's, which is, like Robin said, no longer here, unfortunately.
I went to Marinello.
Yeah.
So Marinello, Fagans, and Beaumont. I went to 3 schools.
Oh my goodness.
Oregon to California. I forgot to say that because California to Oregon is different.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So of course, like some of us, you do your 1,600 hours if you're a cosmetologist. So I did my 1,600 hours, and right before I graduated, a young girl had came and was like, "Hey, I've heard about you. I want you to do my hair." And at that point, I was so fed up with, like, I was like a senior in cosmetology, and I was like, I don't want to do anybody's hair. Like, I just want to graduate. And she's like, no, like, please. So I'm doing her hair, and she's like talking to me, and she's telling me like, my mom, you do hair like my mom. Like, my mom, she just couldn't do it. She was out of town, but she does celebrity styling. And I was just like, oh, okay. Anyway, cut to her mom finds me, and I start working for her right away out of cosmetology school. So she was a celebrity stylist, Valerie Harrell. So I say that just one point to make while I'm talking about myself is that this is a really key point. This was a really key point in my entire career, because being a protege, being an assistant to someone first, will set you so far ahead of the game. right?
That's a
So
fact. Yep. You
Mhm.
learn so much in a
Man.
cut like
Yeah.
that you don't realize until you're in the
Right.
cut, and then you're like,
Mhm.
oh, wait a second,
Right.
Yeah.
towels, this thing, that thing, that all the little that you have to, yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
beauty school actually, and I
Stuff
know a lot
school
of
doesn't really teach you.
it
Come on.
doesn't
Mhm.
teach you. It doesn't teach you. It doesn't teach you. First off, you have to have talent, but it doesn't teach you how to do hair. It teaches you how. It teaches you how to be sanitary, how to clean the
Hmm.
laws, which is extremely important, especially if you
Yeah.
want to be a good stylist or a good
Yeah.
a business owner or
Techniques.
work.
It shows you experience, shows you technique. You know, those are the things, the technique. Having a
So
mentor is going to show you technique.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I
Mhm.
was extremely
Absolutely.
lucky. I got to work with Valerie Harrell. So in that time, I did Taraji P. Henson, um, uh, um, Holly Robinson Pete, which is somebody that we did. These are people that we were doing like every week. A lot of B, C list celebrities that you may notice in a lot of like comedies and stuff like that. We worked on the talk show, The Talk. So that was our talk show. So we did that. Valerie Harrell, she was the full hair for Half and Half, The Game,
Here you go.
shows like that. Yeah. So I was with her all the time, and I got a chance to experience. I mean, she's worked on Holly Berry, that, and I was able to assist her, with that. We've done award shows. I've done commercials by myself. So I have a really big background and experience with that. However, bringing it all back in, a big thing for me was women with curly hair, like myself. My biggest question was like, why do, women with curly hair or Black women in particular, like, why is the length not like, why don't I see a lot of women with longer hair? And once I started working with her, all of her clients were predominantly Black women, all had very long hair. So with her, I learned the health, how to keep hair healthy, how fragile curly
Mhm.
hair is. And so with that, I learned a lot of things like, well, how do people like? Where is it breaking off? Is it the water? And I learned that when people sleep, the friction between their hair and their pillow, like how much it was drying it out. So for me, I took that and I was like, man, well, how can I create something that would help people retain their length? And so it took me a few years, but after COVID, I had a lot of time.
Hmm.
I had a lot of time to create to learn a new skill. So I taught myself how to sew with a sewing machine, and I started making hair bonnets. But not just not just any regular hair bonnets. I started making hair bonnets with 100% mulberry silk, which I hadn't. You'll find a lot of satin. You'll find a lot of kind of funky, cool hair bonnets, but I never found anything that I like, and I never found anything that was good for the right price with 100% silk. So I went down to, downtown and I found the best silk that I could find. I found the patterns that I liked. I put them together and I created an entire business called Curls and Bonnets. And that's what I focus on now. I have the first day that I launched, I want to say I made within the first 5 hours, I made about $1,500. And and I'm not like popular. I
They're
don't have
small
like
ticket items, right? Like how much
yeah.
are they selling for? So that's a lot.
So
That's a lot of sales. That's really dope.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
that's really dope.
they're $20 for
Yeah.
for a satin bonnet
No,
and 40
that's
for
real. You should be really proud of that. That's not
Yeah.
easy to do,
I am.
especially without like I've spent the last 2 years building email lists, and everybody thinks just because of Instagram or this, like yeah, Instagram is a huge factor, and I have a direct correlation between how many sales I have compared and where they come from. So
Mhm.
you should be proud of that. That's pretty dope.
Thank you. And I am proud of that. And that's something that I just wanted to share because at first it was just like, I don't think anybody's really like this. And then the people who purchased weren't even like family members. So I realized that this, and I don't know if it's niche or niche,
It
but
is.
I realized
Yeah, there's a
that
little
this is
market. There's a spot for it.
fun. Yeah. And I'm like, so not,
I even
Yeah.
have one for me and for Sanaya.
There we
yeah.
go. There we go.
Yeah, so I created this business. It's something that people want, and on top of that, but like you guys said, it wasn't about the money. I honestly didn't expect it to like be like that big. Not that it's so huge, but like I didn't expect it to pop like that. But what was important for me was creating something that I couldn't find for myself that was needed, because to be honest with you, silk is expensive. It's hard to get by. So like people usually don't sell things with silk, and it's really high price. But for me, I was like, I really want people to be able to sleep on something that will allow their hair to retain moisture, take away the static, take away frizz, and it's luxurious and it's not expensive. The prices that I have for that silk it's 40-45 bucks that I'm charging people for handmade, products. So I really want people to have it, to sleep well, to be able to retain the length on their hair. And that's where I am now. That's what I focus on. And so my
Do you have
career.
a plan to scale, or is it
Huh?
just kind of? Do you have a plan to scale, or are you just kind of taking it kind of sale by sale, month by month? Do you have like 100 units goal or something like
So
that, or is it
at this moment, I wasn't prepared for all.
yeah,
Again,
for
it's
all
still,
that, right? Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't prepared, so I'm learning more because I went from hair and knowing what I'm doing there and how to like control my client base and how to get things into like, okay, I'm going to do something a little bit more crafty. And so I'm learning how to do that, but it allowed me to to still stay within my passion. And I saw that one of the questions was like, what, like, or the main thing was like cool careers within cosmetology. And how cool is it that you can be a cosmetologist and then you can find something, because this is important. You're going to need something like a product or something that is yours, that you can carry on even after you stop doing hair or stop
That's
doing.
a fact. That's a fact.
So I was always worried of like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know how to create a product. And then bam, here I am.
There you
Now my
go.
the bonnets. And you, like you guys all know, you said you create hair products. So you all, Robin, you
And
have
I have cuticle oil.
you
So
have your cuticle.
I sold $2,000, but $4,000 probably in total in face masks. So I would have never thought that by selling hair products, cutting hair, anything like that,
Yeah.
I put together some designs, released them, and cumulatively made
Work.
probably about $4,000 off of. I mean, it's a $7 printed item.
That
So
is
all in and all that stuff is
that's amazing.
it's not, you know what I mean? And
So
so
thank you
it's,
so
you got to figure it out. You got to keep it moving and kind of make the
Write that
best of the
down.
situation.
Thank you,
I
Brittany.
never expected that. Yeah.
Brittany, some of the students or one of the students was asking if you could drop in the link for your bonnets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that they can order one.
Yeah, check it out. Check out the website, and I'll send it now.
Yeah, put it in the chat, and then people can pick it up from there.
I say it's hard to find on Google. So if you have social media, it may be easier to find it. Because the actual website is hard to find on Google right now because it's not, huge, I guess. But I will drop it, and I will drop the social media.
Thank you.
I respect on you bringing up that university thing. A lot of times I get asked, I'm out, in the mix and stuff like that. People are always like, "Yo, what do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm just a barber." A lot of times people are like, "Okay, cool," and don't really respect it very much, and you don't
they don't
explain.
respect the game. They don't
really respect it. They don't understand the hours, the time, the influence, the impact, you know what I mean? All of these things that really go. It's just such a. It's not like being a doctor, being this or that. Like, there was a weird point years ago that I had uncles that questioned my sexuality. I was like, dog, because I was like, I'm going to barber school. They're like, damn, dog, you cool? And I'm like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I think
so.
I think typically a lot of people think like you have to go to college to be successful. My little sister, she has a PhD and she doesn't use her PhD, but she had problems with her skin and she would ask me, so it's just a way, I think, how society looks at it. But I think definitely if you stay grounded and, you know, when you're giving value and you're delivering results, I have clients that are doctors, nurses, where they're asking me about the skin, you know? So it's definitely, once you master your craft, you know, you're a master at it. So,
well, that's kind of like my journey, because I actually went to college.
Yeah.
I got a AA from SMC. I went to Long Beach State and got a BA. All of my training was in radio broadcasting. And after I graduated from Long Beach, I found myself as a teller at a bank. Not even close to what the hell I went to school for. Not even remotely related to anything I was interested in, but I needed to pay the bills. And so I'm working as a teller. I hate my job. I can't stand doing customer service, because while I was in school, I was working at Forever 21 and H&M. So people facing is what I do, but at the same time, there's all these constraints that I had to adhere to, and I just couldn't do it. It's not creative. There's no free flowing anything. It's very cut and dry. And I pivoted while I was working at the bank to start working to go into nails, because I was doing my nails as a teller, and I got a lot of interested parties while I was doing, you know, my own nails. So I went to nail school while I was working at the bank, and in the midst of that, I ended up getting the job at SMC in 2013. And so I'm just so used to doing two things at once that now, almost 7 years later, it's like, well, maybe now is the time to go full time. You know, you've got the clientele, you've got the product, you've got the experience.
It's a scary thing. I actually have a girl that I was really close friends with. We went to beauty school together. She actually did beauty school, and then in the midst of doing that, she actually went to college, not because she wanted to actually use a degree for anything, but she wanted to be respected, and she felt like people didn't respect her like as a cosmetologist, which is her passion. And so she spent money to get a degree, and still to this day
care about.
I don't want it. I'll never use it. I just wanted people to respect me. And I'm like, kudos to you for going to school and becoming smarter, because education is powerful and you can use that anywhere. However, it's still sad that we feel this way when hairstylists are such happy in control of their career, their life, and their creativity. And it's a job, it's a passion job. And how is it that we're so, like, people don't respect that? And you got to be like,
it's crazy. Barbering is offered and open so many opportunities for myself. I hit every single thing that I want to in my life. I have the opportunity to work and be very active in the community. I work with kids. I go and mentor kids. I tell them, hey, this is what's going on. Not just a haircut. It's more than a haircut. Every day I go down, talk with homeless cats. Yo, y'all good? Y'all need some clothes? You know what I mean? Like, there's a community that I actually work and you know what I mean? Like, it's giving me the opportunity to tell and inspire people right into that. I get to then go to actually work and put hair on the floor, and people are just happy with that. Make a hair product, start a small business from scratch, DIY, all off of tip money, less than $500, handmade hair products with all just branding, and could be iPhone pictures. Pivoting through 2020 into making face masks, you can go on and make whatever literally you want.
Whatever you want.
So if you set the pace, you set the tone. This career, I don't have a degree. I don't have, but I sell shit. You put me in a college, you enroll me in Santa Monica Business School, I guarantee I'm going to graduate and have great, you know what I mean? I know how to sell. I don't need a degree. And I truthfully don't need somebody else who has a piece of paper. I don't need their respect to tell me. I pay myself. You got to punch the clock and go work for somebody else. I created my dream. You know what I mean? Are you happy doing what you do? Because I created, you know what I mean? My happiness. So do you,
and that's
you know what I mean?
One thing I always tell people, that's where personal development comes in at. You know, if you have to feel someone to validate you, that's where you have to look at yourself every day and say, hey, I love myself. I love the person that I'm becoming, and you don't need any validation. So that's why personal development is so key, because the stigma is, oh my God, you do beauty stuff. But it's like, you're making 6 figures a month. I just showed Robin last night, I made $15,000 just off my product. So
yeah. That's, I mean,
Robin
I look
solid.
at,
And
I
once you
have
perfect
goals
it, and
about
it's
that.
2 simple
It's
products,
boom, it's
you
boom,
know?
it's boom. Once you have an email list, once you have wholesale accounts, you already have 10 wholesale accounts that are buying 100 units a piece. Boom, you got that. You know what I mean? Like once it gets on, it's boom. You just have to,
and it's
and
word
it's
of
a
mouth. It's
marathon.
authentic.
Yeah.
It's word of
Word of
mouth.
mouth is the best thing, especially when
Authentic is
people can vouch for your stuff.
That's how I met Robin. Word of mouth. And
Word of mouth. One of
a
my
hot
clients is
word.
one of her clients, and she was, and I told her I was looking for an esthetician, and my client was like, "I have the perfect one." I instantly hit her
I have
up.
a
I was
crazy
like, "You know
story for
what?
you.
Look. How about we go ahead and do a trade?" Remember, Sabrina?
Yeah, we
Trade, I love
we traded because she, it's two nail appointments a month. My price equaled her price for one facial a month, and we traded for a good 6 months, and it was perfect. We traded information, we traded services, we traded energy.
And
it was beautiful.
It was amazing. Like Robin was there.
Yeah.
Like when I met my mom, like Robin witnessed the whole thing. So it's like full circle. If I
There's
wasn't
life moments, these are
it's so crazy. It's so crazy. If I feel like if I did not do what I do, I would have never met my birth mother. She found me by Googling me, and it attached to a news article through my social media, and everything's linked. So imagine I listened to what my family said. Oh, you have to go to college. You have to go to college. It's like, dude, now you guys are asking me questions. You have to believe.
That's how I ended up going to college in the first place, because I was just following the prescription, right? Once you go to high school, you go to college, you figure out what you want to do at college. And it was after all of that when I realized that's not
and I don't know
what I want to do.
It's just
I thought
you
I was
just have to know
interested, and
your
now I'm
formula.
not.
Yeah, it's like the formula. Everyone gets to 10. 5 + 5, that's how I get to 10. 8 + 2, and so forth. School, I was ADD, I was dyslexic, so it took me longer to download the information. So I was just one of those kids, like I was breaking the rules in a good way. I did just enough to like slide by, but then your character, I got through high school, no BS, by being everyone's friend. Like everyone thought I was cool and like, oh, let me help you with your homework. Sure, thank you. So when you're building these relationships and through your network, that's how Robin and we build through our network. And so you build a good foundation. So it's like, hey, the nail person, the skin person, the hair, and the accountant, like everyone, you build a foundation. It's all about building relationships.
Okay, so guys, I need to interrupt.
Sure.
Because and the gardeners out there too. It's a little noisy over here.
Jeez, you got everybody in the house today.
We're having fun here. So I have 2 questions. So one is, I think it would be really great for the students and all of you who have just been joining us, Kiraria, I'm sorry, Kamiko, Brandy, Debbie would like you guys, well, I would too, to show your faces, please. So one is, I think it would be really helpful for the students to hear kind of like what a typical day is for you. And 2, to understand, so you're talking about a lot of like network building and building and building and building, but kind of like,
how do you do it?
How do you do that? Because remember, they're all coming out of the program. They're probably for the most part new in the sense of like many of you, they may have the natural skill and been doing it for many years, but are kind of getting the degree and the hours behind it so that they can go out and be professional.
Okay, I can start.
Okay, that would be great.
So
Thank you.
I'm super organized and OCD. So I write down all my clients in a planner.
Oh,
and
wow.
So
that's
I write
great.
down.
Yeah.
So all my appointments, I control all my appointments, and I write down what I need to do every day. So for example, I come in about 9:30 and I leave about 5. So you set your day up. So if you're going to have so many clients for the day, okay, that means I like to prep my day. So I have trays. So all my skincare stuff is on here. I'm making sure that my SD wipes, all my supplies is up for the day. I make sure I turn on my steamer, my towel warmer, everything that you need. Your retail looks good. Oops, my phone's about to die.
you have a private salon, like a salon suite, or you in a
Right.
salon
So I'm
yourself,
actually
or
in
what
two
is it?
places.
What's your setup?
My setup right now, I'm in my Inglewood studio. I call this like my creative space.
Awesome.
So this is where I do all my
Love it.
products. And then I
Cool.
have a service treatment room. And then also I'm in Beverly Hills. So
Okay, cool. So you're doing that. Yeah, it's kind of important in some ways to have that kind of dual clientele base of
exactly.
because sometimes
Exactly.
I was over in Hollywood, etc., Beverly
Yep.
Hills, and sometimes now I'm on the west side. I stay on the west side unless you pay me enough to go. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah,
And
that's
that was
very,
one thing
especially starting off. It's great to
Mhm.
get that
When I
build that.
first started
You
off,
know?
I was more so like mobile, and then I got my own.
Mhm.
I was working at high-end places. I was working under other, high places. But then I thought
Yeah.
I didn't like the politics, and I wanted to do my own thing. So
Gotcha.
going back to the schedule, so I write down everything, and then you just run your schedule. I do a consultation with all clients, see what they're doing, do my service, clean up, and then I start my day over again. Now that I have more of products to sell, this is where you get more of your back office stuff. But
How do you
again,
fulfill your products? Do you have back stock, etc.? Do you section off part of your day for that?
yes. So there's about 2 hours a day that I do prepping the bottles, the labels. I do everything myself.
Okay.
And then my
Yep.
son, who's
Same.
17, he helps me too.
Ooh,
Since
at
I
least you
make
got some
everything
help. I
Same.
got this dog. She's good for nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
So time management, I feel like is very important, and not procrastinating. I set my alarm literally
You got to
10,
be on
15
it.
minutes. So just staying focused, on the goal. Again, I make time to rejuvenate myself. That's another thing when I'm giving. We do have to
Major.
make time for ourselves, but I do my own laundry. I used to have an assistant. I think doing my own laundry kind of humbled me, but kind of like the basics that we learn, in school, making sure that your setup is always clean, keeping those standards, making
That's
sure you always
huge,
have.
especially in this 2020
Yes.
pandemic
Yeah,
situation.
for
It's
real.
like a
Exactly.
lot of
Like
people.
I
I've
still
always
remember SMA.
been,
Yeah,
I've
sanitation,
always
maintenance
been
Me
areas.
too.
clean.
Everything has to be clean.
Gotta, yeah. So like switching into this new, the only thing that really changed is wearing a mask. Everything else, I've
Yeah, everything
always
else is the
sanitized
same.
my
And I wore
station. I've
masks
always
before.
cleaned everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. So nothing else is,
Nothing really.
you know what I mean? It's all, yeah.
Same for
Mhm.
nails.
Same with
Same.
appointments. I've been taking appointments. I have enough time. I allot myself enough time
Yep.
where I'm not overwhelmed, where I can
Yep.
Right.
set up, break down before and after every client. Everything is cleaned up. I get a little fresh air if I need to get a coffee or so. I got about
Mhm.
5-10 minutes to do
Yep.
that. Wash, to dry, you know what I mean? Like a style, all that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
that's I
agree.
think important
Nothing
too.
really changed. Being that, I mean, I guess it would be different in what setting that you're in. That was one thing that I said I wanted to be more of a solo esthetician, because then I have control of the environment, because maybe your work habits are different
Yeah.
than other people.
Absolutely.
And then you don't have to collide the different energies. Well, whose towels are these? I just wasn't.
That's actually
Yeah,
why I stopped working in a salon.
Yeah.
Because
The
when I used
barbershop was
to,
getting like that. Yeah.
yeah, because when I used to work in a salon, I'm very much I have a lot of leader type A personality tendencies. So
Right.
things have to be done a particular way
Right.
all the time, no deviation from the script. And because
People would
I
have to
am
do
very
things.
particular.
You can't
Huh?
do that.
It's slack off. You can't you have to follow us. Like I had a checklist every day. I managed Frank's in LA, and I had to leave
Yes.
because the communication was just, I would walk in every day. I would have to wash and dry the towels that the assistants were supposed, and I'm like, why am I sweeping the floors and mopping the,
Right.
why am I in an hour earlier than everybody else who's showing up 15-20 minutes late?
Right.
When we're supposed to have hot towels, like this is not
Exactly.
how you
Right.
run a
And that was my
successful,
issue.
clean, like that's not it.
You
That's
set
not
the
it.
day like you want your guests there. You
Yeah.
don't want to be running in. Like I wear my white
You don't want it
jacket
crazy.
from
Yeah.
school days. Like it's just been embedded in me. You want people knowing that they're coming to you. You have to be that professional. You can't half do things.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my typical day, because I have a very unique day since I have a bajillion jobs. So during the day, well, I should say during the morning from like 8 to maybe like 12ish or so, I like try to go hard and focus on everything SMC, you know, catching up on emails, working on school projects, all that kind of stuff. And then I take my lunch, deal with the baby because I'm still breastfeeding as well. So I have to, you know, take breaks to take care of that. And then I usually start my clients around 4 or 5 o'clock. I try to keep it to just one client a day, but things are the way they are. And so periodically I'll have 2 clients a day. I'll do their services at my station. I turn my dining room into my nail station, so I'm able
I was
to
gonna ask you,
do all my clients
what do you
here.
have?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's
Do
actually
you feel
right behind me.
comfortable?
It's
Awesome.
the
You do feel
whole
comfortable
dining
having
room
people in your
is.
home?
Yep.
See,
So, and
I
because I'm
thought it
not
was kind of like
accepting,
that. Yeah, especially with a
yeah,
child and all. That's what
I
I was
have to
curious
be
about
protective.
having. Okay, cool.
Yep. And so the thing is, I've been fortunate enough to not be able to accept new clients for the past 2.5 years. So I
They
service
know the deal.
between 35 and 40 people a month
Mhm.
as recurring clients. They have the same appointment every
Mhm.
week, every 2 weeks or every 3
That's
weeks.
beautiful.
And
That's what
so
everybody
because I'm
wants.
servicing
Yeah.
the same circle of people, they all know how I work. I'm extremely
Mhm.
particular. Don't touch my things unless I tell you you can touch them. I clean everything a particular way. I have everything set up a particular way. For instance, when people come in for their appointments, they know they need to take their shoes off at the door. They go and wash their hands in the bathroom. They put their phone in my UV sterilizer and they have to wear a mask the whole time. Like clockwork. Everyone who comes in knows that that's what they need to do. So after I do my clients, if I haven't completed orders from the previous day, then I go ahead and start, boxing up and making my products for my orders. I make cuticle oils, candles, I make resin products, I make room sprays. All of my products use healing crystals. So for instance, my bread and butter product is my cuticle oil. I use that on all my clients. I sell to my clients. I wish I had one here. Actually, I do. 1 second. So my cuticle oils are in a roller bottle, and the actual roller ball
I like
is
that.
an actual real healing crystal. And I have 13 varieties of them. I'm actually going to revamp that branding of it. But basically, it's all based on jojoba oil. I mix every single one of them fresh. So I put the jojoba oil, the fragrances that I use, I try to match the vibration of the healing crystal. So that way, every time you use it, you're not only hydrating your skin, but you're also reaping some of the benefits of the actual crystal because it's been marinating your oil the whole time that it's been there. And this is also my way of kind of secretly getting people to start carrying crystals around with them because you're using the oil, in your car, at your desk, in school, by your bed, at the liquor store, at the grocery store, wherever you are, you're carrying those crystals with you and you're carrying those vibrations and hopefully those intentions along with you and to keep you mindful. But I, back to my day, I do my orders and make all of my products towards the end of the day. And, depending on when my clients are done, whenever I finish with my services, then I'll eat dinner and play with the baby. And that's that.
Yay.
I just kind of wanted to jump in.
Time management is key. I have a plan. I even have a planner for just my business stuff. I have a daily planner and a weekly planner, and I have to keep everything in alignment. All my clients, I use Vagaro.com. That's the app that I use. And so it's my favorite because when I want to hold classes, it'll manage that whole aspect for me. As far as client management, it holds all of my clients in one management system. It's a calendar, so I'll put in all of my appointments. It'll automatically send out my appointment reminders to my clients. It holds all of their personal information. I can even put birthdays in and put discounts and all that kind of stuff. It's called Vagaro, Vagaro.
Will you drop it in the chat, Robin?
Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely my favorite. I've used I started out with a paper planner. I started out with Vagaro. I started out with a paper planner, then it went to using Style Seat, and I was using Style Seat for a long time.
Yeah, when I met you, you're on Style Seat.
Yep. I used Style Seat up until maybe like 2 years. Yeah, right around when, right after I stopped with you. And then I switched from Style Seat to Vagaro because it had a lot of different aspects that I was looking for. And it had a lot more flexibility with your service menu. And because, like I said, they offer classes. So you can actually, you know, input a class, people can sign up to it. And with Vagaro, if I was working in a more formal setting in a salon suite or something, I would have my clients download the Vagaro client app, and they would be able to check in for their appointments ahead of time. And, you know, especially with COVID, that would be ideal because they can check in for their appointment, stay in the car, and then I can send them a message when I'm ready for them to come in. And then they would, you know, everything is very, you know, guideline,
Yes.
you know, appropriate.
Oh, I was gonna say one tool. My phone. I was gonna say, especially for esthetician students, if you're not a part of the Association Skincare Professionals, they give you like a lot of templates, especially with COVID, and they offer discounts when it comes to insurance. I don't know if your instructor shared that with you, but that's actually, I've been using them for about 10 years since I've been in LA. So they give a lot of resources too.
Nice.
So I actually just wanted to jump in. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us about your day. And then Sabrina, they want you to drop in the name of the organization in the chat, please.
Oh, my phone is about to die. It's called Associated Skincare Professionals.
Okay, I'll drop it in.
And by the way, I'd like to just jump in before, go ahead, finish that. And then the Associated Skincare Professionals. This is Debbie Perret, and I just wanted to thank the speakers for coming. And I'm so happy to see you guys, especially on Zoom here. And it's from my angle, it's a little bit difficult if more than one person is speaking. So if you're not speaking, please put yourself on mute. Okay. And so that way we're not interrupting each other, and there's not a personal dialogue, but it's an overall speaking to the whole group. I think that way students will, and myself will be able to follow the conversations a little bit better. But mostly I just wanted to thank you guys all for coming. It's just a fantastic thing that we can all meet here in Zoom and hear your stories. Thank you.
Oh, and then you guys, Carissa is saying, one of the students is saying, if you could all provide your product information links, they would appreciate that too. Okay, sorry about that. Brittany, it's your turn.
Okay, so something that I actually want to share, it's not necessarily my day now, but something that I think is really important for new students, because you guys are all students and you're going to be going into, after this, it's you and you yourself. So something that's really a big part of your day when you're in the beginning, like, is passing out your business cards. Passing out your business cards and being social. So one, I just want to let you guys know that this is definitely not a shy business. Oh, where are we? I'm viewing someone's screen. Can you guys hear me? It's not a shy business, so you do have to be social. So if you are shy, you're gonna have to learn how to be social. Because a bigger part of your day, especially in the beginning, is going out and talking to people, updating your social medias, being seen, allowing people to see you, because that's how you're going to get your clientele. Sometimes you'll work in a salon, which is very unusual for a new hairstylist or esthetician or anyone in cosmetology to go in and just get their own seat. But sometimes when you work for like a bigger salon, they have their own clients and they kind of bring them in. But that's very unusual. But what is usual is you're going to have to hustle up your clients. So a big part of your day is not just like, oh, I'm going to go to work and clock in, because you're not clocking into anywhere. You're making sure you have the weeks before, you're running sales, you're doing whatever you need to do to get people in your chair. So I know everyone touched on like the cleanliness of like your day and what you do to like open up your stores or open up your chair or, you know, warm your tools up. But a big part of your day is definitely going out. If you have to go to the mall and pass out, me and my co-workers, we would, once we were done, it was slow, we didn't have too many people, we'd be like, well, you want to go down to the strip mall? You know, we'd go together and we'd go pass out a lot of our cards. So that is a huge part of your day. And I just wanted to insert that into this conversation, because I want you to expect that, that when it's a lot of hustling. So it's a hustler's job. It's not a shy job. It's a very social job. So if you're not used to that, get used to it now. And just talk, because that's where you'll get your clients.
Really great advice. Thank you.
Man, for real, for real. Woo.
Okay. Hey, Kevin, I just unmuted you. Go ahead and tell us what a typical day looks like for you.
Awesome. So during COVID, I took a step back. You know, I had about a month to kind of refocus. I didn't take any haircuts. I didn't, you know, a typical day. We're not really in a typical place anymore. So that's just what it is. My days now look like, I started re-looking back and realizing that my days had been so overwhelmed. There had been so many days I'd been in the shop from 11 to whatever time, or 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. to just these long, just like a machine, where every single day I felt burnt out and overwhelmed, and sometimes to a point where I didn't even like cutting hair. So at the beginning of COVID, I was like, man, how do I stay feeling great about what I do, right? So I start the day off personally. I surf. I don't know if anybody else likes to exercise, anything like that. Wake up in the morning. I wake up really early. After that, about 7, 8 o'clock, I start running through emails. Like everybody has said, I have an email list. We're in an industry where you eat what you kill. So if you don't go out and you don't hustle, if you don't send out Instagram things, or send out text, or follow up with people, I have an automatic text system that goes through and texts and follows up with everybody that's booked online. I personally use Acuity. I've been able to maintain and manage. One thing with a lot of shops is that they keep the book. They make their appointments for you. They do something, you know what I mean? So you don't have access to a lot of your clients unless they're in your phone or you do something to manage them. The easiest way I found is some type of app or something like that. So I have over 5,000 emails. I have over 2,000 phone numbers, all of these things. I can automate all of these things to let people know, hey, I'm taking appointments. I have openings. I have a new product that's releasing, a new T-shirt, to do this, or that, all through not all different channels. So from 8 to about 10, 11, that's what I do. Then about 10, then I start taking my first haircuts. I have lunch, and then I go 12, 1 o'clock, I start taking my first appointments. And then I run till the sun goes down. And I do hour appointments. So I book every hour on the hour, and I manage it that way. So I know exactly how many people I'm going to see, exactly how many people, and I can, you know what I mean? I average it out. That's a typical day. I also work in hair and makeup for photo and video shoots. That's been really unique and different now, shifting through COVID as well. Those days look like whatever the call time is. They'll send you a call sheet, whatever it is, what time it is, the artist or talent, etc. show up. You have to be prepared. I have a roller kit that I bring with me that has everything I need. Boom, I show up. I have a chair that I bring with me just in case there's not a chair. I have a fold up, like really light, almost like a what's that, like if you go camping or something. Toss it in the truck, go to where I go, set up on set for 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it is. Very long days, but after you cut, you know what I mean, or do whatever, you're basically just wiping off and reapplying, wiping off sweat, reapplying some makeup, and just dragging your feet. So that's kind of the difference between the days. Also in the morning, I didn't mention that I pack all of my orders. So in that time frame, before I get all of that done, if I have to skip lunch or something, sometimes that's what it is. But I get everything done then. So I get all my orders, I look at them, go through the emails, I do all customer service, I do all you know, if there's new products, if there's whatever it is, all of that gets packed. I go to the post office, then I start the day at the shop. You know what I mean? That's usually every single day. Wednesdays now, I'm back in the salon. And the salon runs me from 11 to 6. And that's kind of just a day at the salon. So I get into the salon. We have an assistant there. They kind of make sure they have everything set up for me to kind of rock and roll once I get in. I just show up, plug and play. My guys are already booked. I already know who's on my book. I already have the time set apart. I also use an assistant task manager that links to my calendars. So if I have anything like this or any other meetings that I have to plug in, it blocks off appointments in my calendar so that everything is kind of synced. I'm not very computer savvy. So if I could figure it out, I'm pretty sure, I mean, y'all pretty young college students, so sure y'all could figure it out if I got it. So, but yeah, that's kind of a typical day. Get done, try to catch the sunset. That's important to me to finish the day, make sure I round it off. I'm grateful for the opportunity to show up. You know, I try to watch the sunrise, watch it go down, thankful for the day, be able to recharge. That's really the purpose, is to be able to be like, all right, cool. I have enough energy and enough focus to go back into tomorrow, provide these experiences for people, provide great haircuts and time that they want to share to come back. You know what I mean? So yeah, just making sure I don't burn myself out anymore, spend those 12 hours in the shop trying to, you know, because it's tough when you start off, you're trying to build clients, you're trying to just put in all the hard, dirty work for a long time, but you can't burn yourself out.
So as long as I've still got you on here, I'm going to ask you the next question and then we'll go through the rest of the panel.
Sure.
What is one mistake that you made that you were like, oh, ouch, that you'd want everyone who's coming out of the program to know so that hopefully they could avoid it? Like, you know what I mean? Something you did that you thought was going to work and then you were like, oh, that just was not a great way to go.
That's a really good question. A lot of people, especially in LA, California, all want to be celebrity stylists. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what that term is. It's corny to me. If somebody introduced themselves as a celebrity, anything to me, I would laugh in your face. So one of the ouches I would say would be devaluing myself and my time in order to try to bring on new clients that somehow would add a value that isn't really it's really not valuable. You know what I mean? So like Lil Pump calls you, says, yo bro, come give me a taper. You're like, all right dude, I charge $300 for a house. What? Nah bro, okay, cool. So what do you want me to come cut your hair for what, $20 in Calabasas? Bro, you're tripping. That's not gonna happen. Go ahead and hit somebody else up on Instagram because you're Lil Pimp. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I have other, you know what I mean? I have people that value my time, respect me, and so forth. So don't dive so much on that. Be authentic to yourself, respect and appreciate your own time, and make sure that, like, no matter, don't be thirsty for no, like, you know, little kind of, it's great to put yourself in a position to show up and show out and do your work and show that, like, you're, you know, what you do. But it's really not worth, like, you know, devaluing yourself in that, because somebody else will pay you your value because they know what it is, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me unmute. This is Robin, go ahead. I was going to unmute you, but I couldn't.
It's I have two. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Two mistakes. Number one is I was trying to, while he was talking, I was trying to think of a way to phrase it, but one of them he actually meant, Kevin actually mentioned, is to know your worth. One of the biggest mistakes I'll probably do that I made more times than not was always trying to give people discounts just so that they can try me. And this was mainly when I first started, like within my first couple of years after getting my license. Now I will say, sometimes you do have to do things for free, especially if you are trying to accomplish a particular goal. you know, like when I was trying to get into doing magazine editorial shoots, a lot of those, they're going to call it for credit only, right? So they're not going to pay you money, but you're going to get credit for that shoot, you know, when they actually put up who did what. And that's and for certain gigs, that's worth more than gold, especially for a nail artist, because we probably get the least amount of respect and the hierarchy of the cosmetology world, especially on, you know, big photo shoots for magazines and video shoots and stuff. So I'm not saying that doing things for free is a bad thing or giving people discounts is a bad thing. I've definitely done my fair share, but devaluing yourself just for the sake of getting that one particular person is never worth it, because at the end of the day, they're not going to think any higher of you just because of that one experience. So if you're always used to giving this one particular client, you know, a 50% discount on something, and then you try to go up and give them their regular price, they're not going to appreciate that, and they're not going to value you. So I always try to caution people who are new into this business to always charge what you're worth and to stick to it and to have those boundaries. The second mistake that I sometimes still make, but I still have to, you know, warn people against it, is to trust yourself. Never feel like you have to abide by somebody else's idea of what you do. If you already know what you want to do for your career and how you want to do to conduct your business, then stick to that and hold those boundaries firm, because that's what's going to build the foundation for a very successful career. One of the biggest things I always have an issue with is that people have their own ideas of what a nail artist or a manicurist do, and they always think that it's just sitting in a salon, painting with nail polish, and that's it. You do that from 8 to 5 every single day. When in actuality, when I was doing nails full time, which was very briefly while I was on maternity leave, it's real easy, especially if you have your system down packed and you've got your skill set and you have your clientele. It's real easy to make a cool $2,500, $3,000 in a week, just from doing nails and upselling things. Because if you're doing, you know, especially if you already have prices that are set and people come to you for your service, regardless of how much the price is. For me, it was a thing of, you know, knowing that I can provide a particular service to you and you're getting my personality, you're getting the experience, you're getting this whole environment for this particular price. And people are going to come to you for you. People are going to come for your service because it's who's giving the service, not necessarily for what it is. And if you're so wrapped up in what people think that you do, as opposed to what you want to provide, you'll never accomplish what you actually want to do. I hope that made sense, because I feel like I'm rambling.
No, that was good advice.
Yeah, but it's you know, essentially, if you already know how you want to do something, like for me, I don't do acrylic services. I only do hard gel and gel polish. That's all I do is gel services. So when I get, you know, DMs and people see me at pop-up events and people see me out, you know, people know that I do nails and they ask, you know, well, can you do an acrylic full set? No, I don't do that. And, you know, not wanting to chase that client. I don't chase business at this point. I don't chase money, because it's always going to lead you to do things that you don't want to do. So if you stick to what you want to do and stick to your passion and don't, you know, get wrapped up in what everybody else's idea is of what you do, you'll be way further along than a lot of people who think they know what they want to do.
That makes sense. Thank you so much. Sabrina. Wait, did we lose?
Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay.
Oh, there you are. It's like, where did she go? Thank you.
Yeah, I had to change because my phone was about to die. So I'm
Got
actually in my Inglewood treatment room. So for myself, again, staying authentic is very important. One mistake that I did make, I would get so excited and I would buy 100 of something and I didn't even try it on 5 clients. And then you find out it doesn't work. So scale, make sure that you're scaling your business according to what your demand is. Now, you know, I could buy 1,000 and up now, but before I would just buy stuff where I would try different products and I would be wasting money. So that was one thing I definitely learned a hard lesson a couple times, is make sure you stay authentic. Don't go for the hype or go for what's trending, because again, you want to set yourself aside from everyone doing the same thing. For example, right now in the esthetician world, jelly masks are everywhere. I don't do jelly mask. I bought one. It damaged one of my towels and I was like, oh, I'm not doing that, and just stick to what I know. I'm mix gels, clay masks, and so forth. And also, I just wanted to share with you guys my back bar. It's not the typical back bar, so hopefully you guys could see it. Let me turn my camera around if I could turn it around. Oh, if you can see, I have a little refrigerator. Let me see. Shoot.
All this technology is just so
I
much.
know. Okay, so here's
There we go. We can see it now.
I'm obsessed with refrigerators, and it's everything that I need. It's very simple, right? It's not the typical what everyone else is using. So I say that to say, turn it around. All right, I say that to say not to just do your own thing. You know, I remember when I was doing facials for $40 and now I could charge $500 for a facial, you know? So just stay authentic, do what you believe in. If you wouldn't, and one thing about when you're going to be working, if you work in a salon, many salon owners are going to put pressure on you to, oh, sell this, this. And then if you don't believe in it, why are these people going to believe in it? You know? And so again, be authentic and do what you would do on yourself. If you wouldn't use it, why would you sell it to a client?
Yep.
That's all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Brittany.
So I second Sabrina and Robin and I second that, trusting yourself and not doing something more. What my input would be, don't think that your talent, or don't think that you're so talented that you can't learn something new. I'll tell you, when I first went to beauty school, I thought, I don't need, I said this, I don't need this. I'm just here to get my license because I'm already good at this. And then I failed my first round of state board. So I had to do it again because I thought I was just going to go in there, and I thought state board meant I was going to be there, show my talent off, and then they were going to give me my license. So that was the first humbling experience. And then, not that I did this throughout my career, but you have to continue learning. Don't think that once cosmetology school is over, you got your license, or that you're just so talented that I got this. It's no, because cosmetology is always moving. It's always changing. So a big thing that I don't want any of you to make the mistake of is thinking that you're just, hard work beats talent any day. So don't stop working hard. Don't think that you're just so talented and people come to me, I'm just so great at this, because you might be the hottest colorist today and tomorrow somebody else is a much better colorist than you, much more talented. So continue to, because younger people are coming in every year. New students coming in every year. And so continue to learn. And I'm not just saying that because I'm past this area. I'm for real. Continue to take classes. Continue to, if there's another hairstylist who's really good at blowouts, learn how to blow out. Oh, important. Don't be good at just one thing, because if you are the queen of blowouts, but you live in Seattle where it rains half the year, where's your clientele when it's raining? Don't be good. Don't say, well, I can't really do this type of hair because I'm better at this type. Learn how to do the other hair. Learn how to do everything, because there was a point in time where people were relaxing their hair. And people thought, well, I don't need to learn how to press because we relax now. Now look at everybody's natural. So, like, learn how to do everything. So don't make the mistake of being so into your niche that you only focus on whatever your talent, whatever you're talented at. Become hard work beats talent again. So work hard at something else, learn something new, continue to sharpen your skills, and shape your craft. So
Thank
that's
you.
my.
And I think something else that all of our speakers are saying, you guys, is to learn our crafts. And Rochelle would agree with this too, as career counselors, to learn your craft, you get better and better over time because you figure out other ways to, for Rochelle and I, how to ask a question of a student that helps them see something they didn't see before. And for you guys, guiding people in your literal skill and in your ability to have kind of a discussion. Oh, Lisa Moss, who works in our office, wants to come see how we're doing. So Debbie had to go, but she asked me to ask all of you guys. So we have about a half an hour. So what I wanted to do was ask the question for Debbie, and then I want to open it up to student questions. And then to make sure that, because I'm sure a lot of students have questions. So Debbie asked me to ask all of you to please tell our students some of your favorite products. And if you want, I hope everyone's been kind of following in the chat room, just because so many people have been posting great things. So if you guys want to just post it in the chat, say it and post it in the chat, whatever you want, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want to say a couple of your favorite products and why?
Sure.
Okay, so if you don't mind, go ahead, Brittany, since you were last on. Now you get to be first.
Okay. So for me, everything's going to be curly hair products. So yeah, curly hair, this one's for you. A product that I really like is called Mo Knows Hair. She's got like a clarifying scalp. She's got like a whole line of things for curly hair. So you can find that at Sally's. That's one of my favorites. So it's Mo, M-O, Knows Hair. I know it's kind of crazy. Another one that I'm pretty faithful to is Shea Moisture, which in the beginning I didn't like because I was like, it's kind of thick. But then I learned how to use. I learned which one of their products was for me, and I realized that it was good for like giving my curls, making them elongated, but giving them a little bit more weight. Definition, weight. I know. Okay, so I use gels, but be careful with gels. Do not use anything that has alcohol. There's plenty of gels out there that don't have alcohol. Alcohol dries out your hair. And if you have curly hair, that's the last thing you want to do. So I actually use an Eco Styler. I just started using their Gold Eco Styler, which is really great. It smells great. So if you're a person that likes gels, that so Curl Diva, I don't necessarily like their products for my hair texture, but they do have a really good diffuser. So if you have curly hair, you probably have a diffuser or you've heard of it. Their diffuser is really great. It's shaped like a hand. So it's like, it really gets in there. One last one. You know what? The last one, I can't remember what the actual product is. It's in my bathroom. I'll just give you, if you have curly hair, what's really good, you don't have to actually use a shampoo for your hair every time. You can use a co-wash. Now, co-wash is a conditioner, a cleansing conditioner. Find you a good co-wash. They all are pretty good. Just you want to make sure that they don't have any parabens or any wax or anything like that. But a good co-wash. Find one that you like. Find that one that smells good. Mo Knows Hair has a good co-wash. But I think it's Botanicals has a good one. But find a co-wash and use that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Sabrina.
Okay, so for me, I'm not really a product junkie. I'm more so an ingredients junkie. So one thing when it comes to facials, one thing that I use a lot of is green tea. So it could be a green tea powder, it could be a green tea liquid. And one, it's going to neutralize the skin and it's going to kind of build like a buffer. Another ingredient that I love is niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, again, because one, it's drawing in the water into the skin. And then of course, your antioxidant. So I'm a vitamin C junkie. I love vitamin C's. Now, when it comes to vitamin C's, you're going to start learning which one works best for your client. So it could be a lemon, an orange, a pomegranate. something to that effect, but that's going to brighten the skin. When it comes, I guess I do have one product, a cleanser. It's called the Perfect Cleanser. I actually know the LA rep. She's a good friend of mine. So I like to use gel-based cleansers on clients because one, gel is universal for all skin types. And then you could add in what you need, depending if they need more hydration. You could use ceramides, the hyaluronic comes in. So especially for aesthetics, this is going to be a good company. It's called the Perfect Cleanser. If you email me, Sabrina@skinbysabrina.com, I can give you the reps information, or I have it available. Another thing when it comes to tools, you probably learned this in school. This is your high frequency. This is the holy grail because one, it's going to kill off any bacteria, and then also it's going to set in all your products, especially for age management, and then also for acne or blemish prone skin. Another tool that I love is your light stim. So this is LED. So I don't know if you guys use it now, but LED originally started, the red light therapy started in China, right, to heal the skin. And then NASA took on the technology for LED. So that is going to really be a good lifesaver for you. That's really it. Those are my few tips. So hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, your antioxidants, and then the little gadgets to really make the flow of your facial.
Perfect. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Mm-hmm.
Robin, what about for nails? Hands.
Okay. Well, a good cuticle oil is always good. I'm always gonna say mine is the best, but
oh no, sell away, girlfriend, sell away.
Okay, so so my main brand is called Crystal Love. And so as the name says, this is where I actually use the healing crystals in it, but it's just Crystal Love cuticle oil. Hold on, let me do this. Crystal Love cuticle oil. It's all based in jojoba oil. I actually have 2 different lines of cuticle oil. I have my classic one, which is Crystal Love, and then that one, I don't cut any of my ingredients. It's all cold pressed. Sorry, you can probably hear my baby in the background, but it's all organic cold pressed jojoba oil. The only thing I add to it is the fragrance oil, which is also cold pressed, and then the crystal rolling ball. That's it. So you're getting maximum hydration. Jojoba oil is very, very light. Like Sabrina mentioned earlier, it's a carrier oil. So there's not a whole lot of, fatty, waxy residues that are going to be left. But the cool part about jojoba oil is that it's not made from a nut. So it's not going to give anyone who has a nut allergy any type of reaction. But it has the same chemical or similar chemical makeup as your natural sebum in your skin. So it's going to be absorbed very easily and at a very quick rate so that you can always make sure your skin is nice and soft and supple, especially if you use it right after you've washed your hands.
Very nice.
The other, just quick plug, the other cuticle oil collection I just made for October, but I'm going to sell it past that, is called Complete Goddess. And I made it specifically for breast cancer survivors and people who are going through chemo and radiation therapy, because I actually added authentic essential oils into that same blend that help with nausea, neuropathy, inflammation, all those different types of side effects that come with radiation and chemo. I use those cuticle oils to help with the symptoms for the hands, but then also just to help with mind, body, and soul healing. Let's see, but besides that, nail products, since I mainly use gel, I use Presto everything from Nail Labo. I use Presto everything from their sculpting gels to their base coats, top coats, their color gels in a pot are my favorite. I prefer to use gels in a pot with a regular gel brush because I can get better application. It's more precise, and I have better control over the product as opposed to using the gel bottles. However, I do use certain colors in a gel bottle just because it's faster. When I used to use acrylic, I would use Young Nails. I really prefer their formula because it's fast curing and fast drying, but it doesn't take a lot of manipulation to get that perfect bead. So it's really easy to work with, especially as a new nail tech. And it gives you enough time to manipulate the product to give you that perfect application, and then it dries pretty much right after you're done working with it. So Young Nails for acrylic is my favorite. Presto from Nail Labo, and I'll drop that in the chat, is my favorite gel, period. Another gel company that I absolutely love, and I'm actually certified with them, is Accents. They're based out of Canada, and Nail Labo is actually out of Japan. Accents is my favorite, because it's actually very inexpensive. Their gel colors still come in a pot. You get the same amount as a lot of these other major brands, but it's $10.95. Most places are charging between $15 and $19 for about a half an ounce, or not even a half ounce, maybe like a quarter of an ounce. So Accents is my favorite also because they have different levels of hard gel for different purposes. So if you want something that's more viscous and it's going to stay in place, they have that. If you want something that's going to self-level and be a lot more fluid for like natural nail wraps and stuff like that, they have that. And they all come in different sizes. They have something in everyone's budget. Those are my go-tos, is Accents and Nail Labo, Presto from Nail Labo.
Thank you. Thank you. And Kevin, do you have some favorites?
Some favorites. So my brand pitch, I guess, is if you don't see something you want in the world, you make it. All of my products are handmade, so it's hard to pitch products that I don't necessarily stand fully behind, whether it be their economics, how they treat their employees, what their products are made with, etc. I can say that I have brands like Kiehl's, their branding, their products, the way that, you know, the versatility, like the hair, the silk cream that they have, an amazing product. I love it. Pretty much all of the pomades that you see, like Uppercut, any, you know, Lay Right, all of them kind of go through the same manufacturer. So it's more or less the same stuff. So when it comes to brands and products and stuff like that, you know, there's some like, I like Moroccan Hair Oil. They have pretty consistent, pretty great products, pretty good line for hits kind of all of the needs, you know. Who else? I like Le Labo. I kind of just like their fragrances and stuff like that more so than, you know, their branding. I really like. That's something if you're into developing products, etc. Another product or brand that I really like is, I guess, Uppercut. Uppercut, although it was like an Australian barber brand, was started by a barber. You know, he developed it into a pretty cool. They do a lot of things that are in the culture, so to speak, of barbering and represent the lifestyles and the stuff that kind of go with it. So again, because I am in making products, a lot of the products that I see, I know are all kind of just rocks in a box. You know, it's kind of the same stuff, different scent, different whatever. I like the stuff that I make. That's why I make it. And that's not like a plug or anything like that. It's just, that's my goal. That's my mission, is to make something that I love, that I use in my hair and that I can actually stand behind, because I can't sell other people's products like that anymore.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
So we have about 15, 17, 18 minutes left. Sorry about that. I was like, I'm counting. I can count still. So everyone, students, if you have a question, raise your hand. Let's start getting some questions. And if you've got it for someone specifically, I need you to say who it's for.
While everyone's doing that, can I put this little product up really quick? I totally forgot. If anyone does blowouts, can you see it here? This thing is like a lifesaver. Buy it, okay?
Can you type it in?
Yeah. So if you do blowouts, it really makes it really smooth. It's something that I practically buy for my friends and give it to them. So I'll
show you guys my little home office. I don't know if I sell out of my products pretty much every month, every batch that I make, because they're handmade. But this is pretty much, I don't know if you could see, but this is my little office. I have t-shirts, apparel, stuff like that down there that I pack. Let's see. This is one of the textures that I make. And then let me see, I have an angel dust. I also make sanitizers. So I started making spray sanitizers as well as like the masks and stuff like that. So just a little look at what I do, wrap packaging, everything myself, like,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know,
do the
all
same.
that stuff. Yep.
Do you hear how entrepreneurial
Oh,
everyone
boy.
is?
Yeah, that's
Four,
how I
all four of us do everything ourselves at home.
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the angel dust that I make. So it's a texturizing hair powder. It's very similar to any other dry shampoo, etc., that you guys might have used. I've compared it and kind of used like what was that? There's a black one. I forget what company makes it, but there's a couple of them that have been on the market for a while that I kind of use to like as you know, to go off of, sample to go off of.
All right, students, do you have any questions?
I forgot
Yes,
to say,
Carmen.
I guess.
Oh,
No, real quick, I forgot to show. So mine, I call it Traffic Stopper. So Traffic Stopper is a serum. And I'll tell you the reason how I call this Traffic Stopper. So as we know, skincare is literally overwhelming. And so the key thing when it comes to skincare is we need antioxidants, right? To help with free radical damage. Doesn't matter if it's your body or your hair. So, and then also we needed a moisturizer. So it's very lightweight and then it gives you like a nice glow. So what sets us apart from everyone else, I'm actually using plant stem cells that I source from Japan and growth factors. So if you're into skin, you'll start to research what stem cells do. It actually attaches to itself quicker and your cell turnover is quicker than the norm. So that's why it's called Traffic Stopper, because you want people to be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing to your skin? And then my skin mist that I make. And so it's skinbysabrina.com. And then on Instagram, I am Sabrina Today. I can't type it in. I don't know. I'm not really that savvy when it comes to computers, but I'm on my phone and I cannot chat. So thank you so much. I appreciate, wish everyone the best in their career path.
thank you. Carmen, you had your hand up. Go ahead and unmute.
I have well, for everyone. So Sabrina was mentioning she has students. So I was wondering if there was like a class that she does specifically, or like, does she have like people that she mentors, or like, how can I get in contact with everybody? Because everybody here is amazing and I feel so inspired because actually I was just showing Miss Prey, like I was doing press-ons like over the weekend, and like, you know, I'm just starting. Nobody wants to buy these, but
I make them too. Don't worry. I make them too. Don't worry.
Nobody wants to buy them yet, but like, yeah. So like, I really like, I don't know if there's like any way that we can get in contact, or like what, like
So
how can we make that work?
So I think what Carmen's asking is, do any of you offer any sort of like an internship experience? And if you do, she and probably other students would be interested in pursuing something like that.
Come rock with me. Shoot me an email.
So
I got it.
For me, I would recommend, there's like a Facebook group called Solo Estheticians. So there, it's where I get a lot of my mentees from, and then also on social media. So right now I'm actually formulating like a list starting 2021, how I'm going to reformulate my teaching. So typically it would be a one-on-one, or I'd have 3 students in my area. But right now with COVID, I've kind of like stopped that right now. I'm not doing any online teaching because I'm more of a hands-on person. And so 2021, I am accepting new mentees. And unfortunately, like for the LA market, I'm only taking 2 just because there's a lot of us there. So I take girls or estheticians from different states, and I only do 2 in California, unfortunately, or LA market, just so there's not a lot of competition and stuff like that. So, but you can reach me on Instagram, Sabrina Today, or email me, Sabrina@skinbysabrina.com. And I share a lot of content on my Instagram. I'm working on a YouTube, but I'll get there.
It takes time.
Yeah, because I'm an old school. So like I hear them saying they use these apps. I don't use apps. Like I'm old school. I write down everything. It just works for me. That's just how it's worked for 20 years. I would say one weakness, that was one thing I didn't share. One of my weaknesses is keeping up with all the technology. you know, keeping up with like the trends, you know, and I'm kind of like, I sometimes get frustrated, but at the same time, I'm like, well, if it's not broken, don't do it, you know? But at the same time, I'm learning that I have to incorporate different ways because I'm assuming that everyone knows, and that's my weakness that I'm working on. So I appreciate anyone. If you have any questions, please email me. I will get back to you. And I will be doing in person starting 2021.
Yay. All right.
Thank you.
Anyone
Definitely,
else?
I'm definitely open for
Dude.
mentors, mentees. It's a little difficult, I know, right now with the current climate, and then also with state board, they are so weird about mentorships. But I'm definitely open, especially if you know, are trying to understand, you know, a particular portion of nail technology, or if there's a particular skill that you're trying to understand or you're trying to get better at. Even if it, you know, is dealing with state board regulations and doing your SMA, anything like that, I'm definitely here for being a mentor. I love being a mentor. I have 2 right now.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a cosmetologist, so I'm like interested in everything. Like I'm like literally doing everything, and I love everything. And my mom's like, just pick one thing, and I'm like, I can't. I can't.
You know what? Don't pick one thing. If you love everything about cosmetology, then you make it work for you. Because I have 3 friends right now that are they're Black nail stylists. They mainly do nails, but their licenses in cosmetology. So whenever we all go on different photo shoots, the fact that they can do hair, skin, nails, and makeup makes them more valuable than me, where I can only do nails. Like I dabble in other things, but because my specialty is nails, if they need someone to do makeup, they're gonna call in the cosmetologist. They're gonna call on the person who does everything, because that's one person they have to manage as opposed to 5.
I want to ask another question, but I'll wait till somebody like else goes, because I don't want to just, you know.
So to add to that, what you just said, Robin, is I noticed being on set that being just a barber, I would get hired to do a haircut for X amount of money. But if I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, do makeup, do a little bit of hair, do styling,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? They get to pay
You get more
me.
callback.
Yeah, of course. So I've had way more consistent, almost bi-weekly, with certain photographers and people that I've networked over time who are like, man, I know he's easy to work with and he can do it all. Everything we need to get done, we could just call him. And that's way easier than having to connect with 2, 3, 4 other people. So the more that you can dial in on what you really love to do and what's valuable for you. Like I never learned how to really do designs because like it took too much time. For me to do a design and do the whole thing, the value wasn't there. So I X'd it out and I put on everything else where, you know, if it's long hair, if it's this, it's that, I can do any. So somebody could call me to do long to short, shaves, all of it. No problem. I can make you camera ready, video ready, no problem. So it's a one-stop shop for men. You know what I mean? I kind of should probably spend more time developing the women's styling, but I've have so much experience styling men that's kind of like, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need anything else.
Okay, thank you. All right, another question? Well, Carmen, go ahead and ask your second question then.
I kind of forgot what it was.
Sorry. My hand was raised. My hand was raised.
Oh, Leona, was that you that said your hand was raised?
Yeah,
oh, you go then.
So
I didn't see you. Go ahead.
Okay, so due to the COVID pandemic, the catch-22 plague is starting to attack us stronger than ever. So my biggest concern is once I do get licensed, which is going to happen, I think pretty soon, where can I know I asked this before, but where can I like start like networking and all that? Because every time I look at Indeed.com and they say 35 experience, 8-year experience, and I'm just like, well then.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so a good place that I started with was actually during school. I'll admit I was fortunate enough to have people in my family who actually worked in the industry already. So I was able to kind of poach them for leads on places on where I could work. But when those didn't pan out, the best thing to do, especially right now while you're in school, is to start building relationships with where you want to work. So if you want to work in a salon, start scaling, your neighborhood or areas that you really want to work in, and start building those relationships with those salon owners and seeing if they have anything available, seeing if they have any externships, they have any apprenticeships that you can work with, and start doing that now. Because then once you're out of school, you already have a place to go to. You're already plugged in. Another great thing is that if you start looking at on social media, use that as your tool. So if you're looking around in your area and you say your focus is hair and you see different hairstylists in your area, start sending them DMs and asking them if they do internships, or seeing if they have any openings at their salon for an assistant, or a wash assistant or anything like that. Because then you're starting to doing your networking while you're in school, and you can let them know where you're at, and they may even have additional resources for you if they're not able to actually start with you.
Yeah. All right, so I think that works. I understand.
I actually I have a question. When are you graduating?
I'm not. That's a good question. I believe I might graduate like maybe next year or another year. Again, I'm not sure because it's a roller coaster right now because state board is out of control. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but I just know it's gonna be pretty soon.
Okay, I was just asking because then I was gonna suggest someone who is actually looking, but and he's always looking. So most of these so I don't know if you follow a lot of hair companies, but there's a guy on there named Shamil who's on Instagram. He's
the curl doctor. I know him.
The curl doctor. So
yes, I like him.
He's looking for an assistant now. I know you can't do it now because you do have to be licensed, but he changes his assistants periodically because people graduate. So you're gonna want to.
Hello.
You're gonna want to not necessarily just him, but look for people in your area on Instagram who are they don't have to be a celebrity. Like Kevin said, you don't have to go for celebrity stylist or anything like that, but look for somebody who's always who has an assistant, because you can't keep your assistant forever. So when one assistant leaves, another one needs to come in. So they're always looking for new talent. So again, like I said in my story, become an assistant first. So that's where you're going to get your experience. So look for those people, follow them, kind of try to build a bridge, connect while you can, while you're still in school. They definitely love picking people straight out of school because that's when you're still a sponge and they can get the most cooperation out of you. So do that. And then you'll also build bridges with their clients. And
I'll try, because every time I look for assistants on other websites, they keep saying have at least 1 year experience. I'm like, how?
Another great place to look for if you're trying to do it that way and look for listings. StyleSeat actually has a really good listing. It takes a little time. It takes a little bit to find it. But when I was on there, they would actually ask people who posted their businesses if we were looking for assistants or if we had jobs available. So you can try StyleSeat. You might even want to try Vagaro and Acuity to see if they list their professionals and if they're actually looking for assistants.
Can you type it in chat for me? I'll look at it. I'll look into it.
Yep.
Because again, the catch-22 is driving me crazy. My brother is currently undergoing the same problem. So it's it's affecting all of us, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Okay. Any other questions? Because we're just rounding up to 11:30. Well, I want to say thank you so. Oh, Carmen remembered. She remembered her question. Go.
So recently I've worked with a couple people who were honestly a headache, and I'm not even trying to be rude. So I'm just a very sensitive person. People's energies really affect me. I get physically sick. If somebody's coming at me with that, and there was people that I was just I was just not even saying anything. Why am I gonna air stuff out on my social media? I'm just not like that. I just took the bullet to the head. I did my work. I did what I had to. But how do you work your way to having the clients that you want? Like you said, people actually value your work. Because right now I feel like my prices are like, my mom's like, why are you charging so cheap? And I'm like, I'm scared that if I charge like more, people are not gonna want to come to me, you know. So like,
No.
how work towards building the kind of clientele that you want, people that actually value you.
So, can I go? So with that, so when I first started, again, like I said, I was charging like $50 for people. So one, like just to go back to what I said, you have to keep sharpening your skill, right? So the better you are, so people aren't really going to pay for your time. They're going to start paying for your skill, because you can take 5 hours to do something that someone can take 1 hour to do. So get the time thing out of your mind. That's something that you want to get better at, but people are paying for your experience, your knowledge. So continue to sharpen your skill. I know that sounds so like cliche and just regular, but when people can say, "Oh, she really does a really good smoothing," like when she blows out, it's always like really smooth. People are gonna go to you for that. Robin, I go to Robin for my nails because when my nails come off, they're not damaged. They don't have that ring under it. So I go to Robin specifically because she does that. Lots of people are good at doing nails, but not everybody is good at nail health. So get that thing that you are good at and just continue. And then you'll be confident to charge more. So Robin can charge way more now than she used to be able to charge because she's excellent. You know, she sharpened that skill. Same with the rest of us, like Sabrina. You know, I've never been to Sabrina, but you know, I know when she first started, she definitely wasn't as great as how she said now she can charge $500. So you really have to kind of build up to that. And that all comes from sharpening that skill. And then you confident to charge.
Yep. My full sets, when I first started, Brittany can tell you, I charged $25 for a full set. And the nails would pop off in 3 days because I didn't understand how to use bonder properly. Now my full set started $80.
Right. One thing real quick, I was going to say that you have to know psychology. You know, this business is psychology. You have to let your client or your potential client know that this is a lifestyle. If you're not confident within yourself and letting them know, hey, it's recommended every 3 to 6 weeks that you see me. Would you like to book today? Like you need to learn those trigger words. So that's where personal development comes in at. For example, I went to go see Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah said that she learned psychology. So when you start getting into the psyche of people, they're going to make it like people feed me. So it's a good thing, right? But then it's balance. So you not cockiness or like suck up, because I know many facialists, especially in LA, they're stuck up. They don't even talk to people. They're rude and so forth. No, I treat you just like when you were that $45 client. But again, teaching the need. Like we're in a business where people think it's a luxury. No, it's not a luxury. This is the standard that you're setting for yourself. And when you start doing that, you're gonna start attracting those clients. There's not one client that I say, oh my God, Susie's coming today. No, I don't. My standard is not taking that. If you're not gonna use SPF, if you're not gonna put in the work, then I can't give you my value because you're taking away the time that I can't get back. And again, it goes back to what you really want. You know, don't have do anything when it comes to your business. I give my business 110%. 110. It's from day one when I was in school. And that's just, it builds your character. It builds who you are as a person individually. So definitely make it as a lifestyle. But also it's an experience. You want to give people something that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Sabrina did this. Or, oh my gosh, you want them to go home that night and just think about it. So they're going to want to rebook and rebook and rebook. So,
and also to add to that, one thing I will say, as far as like when you do if you're worried about what kind of clients you're going to attract, one thing that I always have to keep mindful for myself is that if you set the boundaries for how you're going to conduct your business, and you set the boundaries for how you're going to conduct yourself during your service, the type of clients that you want will always find you. So if you don't take mesh, you want people to come in, you want them to know how you do your service. If you are consistent and every time that you provide your service, the right clients are going to find you. I kid you not. It is the weirdest thing. The universe knows what you need and the universe knows what you want. So as long as you keep putting out there how you want to be treated, and this is going to sound really cliche, however you want to be treated during your service and the type of clients you want, if you treat the current clients that way, the ones you want will always find you every single time.
I have a funny
Another-
story for that.
Yeah.
And you-
yeah.
I have
tell
somebody
people-
I'm not gonna name.
I know it's
He's
past.
a big guy, right? He ended up we got into an argument because my thing is we're working on your image. When you come in the shop, I look at what you're wearing, your style, your I make you show me pictures. I look at your Instagram, I'll go through, you know what I mean? Like who are you? So I give you a haircut and a style for you, right? I have somebody I've been working with who's an artist who's very well known. I hate his hair. I've been telling him I hate his hair for a long time. And we've been working through different, we'll come up with different images and style, inspos, etc. We got into an argument one day because he didn't like the haircut. I said, okay, don't pay for it. That's fine. That whatever, bro. I drove all the way to Hollywood. I took 4 hours out of my time to do this. You call me every week and you try to say the same thing every single time. Bro, I'm not here no more. I'm not hearing it no more. Don't call me no more. Don't nothing. Like the haircuts for free. Don't try to give me $100 a tip or nothing. Bro, don't take it. No. Period. I show up, I do my work. I have a pride in what I do that is, there's no question about it. I stand on the product that I sell, period. So if you're gonna whatever, okay, cool. I don't need it. I don't need somebody that's going into, I don't need you, bro. It don't matter to me. You're giving me a headache. I don't need it. Ends up calling me a week later. So are we cool? Yeah, all right. I go back to his house. First, he apologized before he even called to make another appointment. I told him, don't ever call me again. Don't call me. I'm not taking your, called me that night. He apologized, bro, misunderstanding, all that. Okay, great. I go to his house. He offers to invest in my company. He goes, bro, I love your product so much. How do I get on? So how do you flip from somebody who is not necessarily happy with a haircut or this or that to somebody who actually believes in your product, something that you do, and is willing to put skin in the game with you? So one thing I would 100% across the board stand on, develop your skills. Don't be cocky and don't be, you know what I mean? None of that. Don't have an ego. Just know what you provide and provide it. It's that simple. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you so much, you guys. We're already at 11:35, so I don't want to, I mean, we can stay on if you want. It's totally, oh, my friend is calling me, sorry. It's totally up to you guys. But I mean, it's up to you. I can also assign someone else a host or co-host, whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So what's going to happen